What's up, guys? It's your girl T here today with a bit of a test video, which who knows, I may be deleting before tomorrow. If you've been following my recent videos, you know that I was in the process of trading in my old camera and getting a new one, and this is the new one that I'm filming with right now, so it's here. And now that I've got this new camera, I'm trying to learn it. It's very similar to my old one. I had a Canon T5i before. This is a Canon T7i. But I'm still kind of learning the ropes with this camera, and I wanted to do a bit of a test video to just kind of see how well it does, because my main issue with the old camera was the absolute garbage autofocus. A critical element when you do everything yourself. When you're filming yourself and you don't really have anyone helping you, you really need good autofocus. So if you're seeing this, then obviously this test video went well enough that I actually went ahead and uploaded it. Not sure if I'm going to keep it up though. The portion we're about to get into is me showing you how I achieve this look, which probably doesn't even look like a look, but it's my go-to makeup routine lately for when I'm not on camera. When I'm not on camera, honestly, I don't wear makeup at all 95% of the time. But if I am going out with friends to go out dancing or whatever, then I do want to put on some makeup. And even if I'm going to a club, because I tend to want to dance pretty much the entire night, I don't put on a full beat. I'm going to be schwitzing and I'm going to be very active, so I put on very light makeup just to kind of improve the overall look of my skin, make myself look a bit more refreshed and alive, but not necessarily go the whole nine doing the most with foundation and concealer and highlight and contour. I just kind of do very abbreviated, truncated versions of that. I've really been liking this look. It gives me kind of like model off-duty vibes where I feel like my skin looks really fresh and revived, and I feel very confident in how my skin looks with just a little bit of products and just a few critical steps. And best of all, it doesn't take very long. So let's jump into the demo for how I achieve this no makeup, model off duty kind of fresh face. And then after that, I'll come back and we can do our check-in for the Beast Mode Victory Lap since we are now in week 2. I've already done my skincare up to the sunscreen step, so that is all done. So I'm just gonna jump right in. Since I don't use foundation for this type of look, I basically just go in with concealer where I need it. One thing that always annoys me around this time of year on YouTube is videos start popping up where it's like, no foundation, summer glam. And then you realize that they're just using concealer as foundation. I don't really do that. I conceal in the spots where I need it, but I don't just slather concealer all over my face in lieu of foundation, which tends to be the case with a lot of those videos that I see popping up in my suggestions. It's really annoying. So as you can see, I basically focus on where I have hyperpigmentation and my under eye circles. Of course, when I want to do a video about skin, I get a zit on my chin. So that's just fantastic. This guy, he's doing his thing. Hopefully he will be evicted soon enough. I do like to bring back some definition on my face, so I'll usually go in with a cream contour or cream bronzer type of product. In this case, I'm using concealer again for that. This is the Urban Decay Naked Skin in Deep Neutral. One of my favorite concealer formulas. I feel like it's a little bit overlooked these days now that, all these other concealers have come out, but I really like this one. And I like that this color isn't crazy stark or dark on my skin tone. So it's a much more sort of believable way of enhancing the little shadow that's already there in my cheek. Ray Ray is on the floor sunbathing right now. You need to see her. She looks ridiculous. This dog, man. This dog is crazy. I'm realizing I forgot a major step at the beginning of this. After my sunscreen, what I typically do is I go in with an illuminating primer before I start the concealer. I really like the Becca Backlight Priming Filter for that. But of course, I was filming and forgot to do what I normally do. So pretend I did that before I put on that concealer. I also do still like to highlight. My ride or dies know I don't like Catch Me From Space type of highlighters anyway. I tend to like more subtle, believable ones. One I've been loving lately is the Hollywood Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury. This isn't a highlighter per se. It's kind of hard to understand what exactly this product is supposed to be, but you can use it in a lot of different ways, and it's got this giant doe foot applicator, and I like to use it just on the high points of my face, like such as. One complaint is it does get very messy around the neck of the bottle, just like trying to dip the wand in, like it tends to get all over the place. So that's one thing I don't like, but unfortunately Charlotte, she just makes my favorite makeup like time and time again. I keep hoping that she'll stop coming out with products that I like because it's hurting my pockets, but it hasn't happened yet. Sometimes I'll tap this out with my fingers and then blend, but since I've already got the sponge in my hand, I'm just gonna go straight in. You guys probably won't even be able to detect a difference with this product on camera because it is that refined and subtle. It's not a for camera type of effect, in my opinion, which is ironic because it's called Flawless Filter, which is, of course, playing off of Instagram filters and things of that nature. But I feel like it's great for real life more than anything. Forgot to do the bridge of my nose. I am really just out of it today, you guys. I'm a little bit overtrained because we are in the beast mode reload, and I did 6 days of workouts in a row last week. Long story. It is not a requirement of the challenge to do that by any means, but it's a long story. But in any event, yeah, I worked out 6 days in a row, and today's been my first rest day since finishing that run, and ooh, I'm feeling it, girl. I do tend to also, if I'm going to put any color on my cheeks, go for a liquid or cream product. In this case, I'm going to use the Daniel Sandler watercolor blush in the shade Dare. Talked about these blushes many times on my channel. They're one of my absolute favorites because I just feel like they look so much better than your typical powder blushes do. So I just put a drop on the side of my hand. I'm going to dot it on my cheeks. These are very economical products because they last forever. You need so little. Just bounce that out. Brows lately, for this look especially, I've been keeping it super simple and quick. And I use the Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Brows. This has been my go-to brow product. And this is another one where I really didn't want to like it because it's Charlotte Tilbury. She does make luxury makeup, and that means a luxury price tag. And I remember like just kind of combing it through my brows the first time I was using it, and immediately I was just like, motherfucker. God damn it. It's great. I'll put it in the description box what shade this is, but I really like it because I do have tattooed brows. My eyebrows are microbladed. So just a little bit to kind of add more texture to the hairs I do have there and deepen it a bit because it's been over a year since I got my brows microbladed and I need to get it redone. So I do need a little bit of help, and this product has been perfect. When I have more time and I'm willing to put in more effort, my brow routine is different from this, but this is the one that I've been doing the most often lately because it's just so easy and quick. It's like a 2-in-1 of grooming my brows and giving them more definition with the actual product that's on this brush. Just by combing them into the shape that I want and getting them looking a little bit more tidy, I'm also adding color, which I love. You do have to be careful with this product though with combing it up because I find if I comb too far up my brows, I'll get sort of a line of product across the top of my brow that looks a little messy and untidy. So I try to basically comb almost to the top and then I pull the brush away so that I'm not laying it down on my skin where I don't want it. Believe it or not, we're almost done. I'm telling you guys, this is like a very no fuss, no muss. I just need to look a little bit more put together than I do otherwise kind of thing. I do like to be pretty selective and minimal with the powder products I do use because this is such a no makeup look, or at least that's what I'm going for. So I will use a bronzer and a finishing powder, but those are really the only powder products I tend to use when I do this type of look. I'm using the Hourglass bronzer in the shade Diffused Bronze. I feel like things like a powder highlighter or a full-on regular setting powder are the things that will take it too far. I will set under my eyes with some powder just because I did put concealer there, but I'm not going to put any regular setting powder elsewhere on my face, just a finishing powder. A little powder under my eyes for where we put that concealer earlier, and I am using a powder that has some tint to it so it doesn't look too stark or too bright considering I don't have foundation on. I don't want it to look like, oh, she's wearing just concealer and no foundation because that does look odd. So you really have to be careful with the amount of product that you use as well as how well you blend it. Final steps, just going to go in with my finishing powder, the Guerlain Meteorites today. I also really like the Hourglass ambient lighting powders for this, or the Becca, I forget what it's called, but I've done a video on it, and that one's good too. And then just because I did put down powders and I am trying to make this look as natural as possible, I do make sure I always follow up with a setting spray of some type. Today I'm going to be using the Herbivore Rose Hibiscus Coconut Water Hydrating Face Mist. This isn't a setting spray per se, but that's how I like to use it. And that's pretty much it. Now, some of you might be wondering, she forgot to put on mascara. I actually didn't. I fucking hate mascara at this point in my life. I used to always wear mascara, but once I learned how to do lashes, I'm at the point where I'm either going to wear lashes or nothing at all. Like, I don't really wear mascara too often on its own. I'll do bottom lash mascara and a strip lash on the top with no mascara on my top lashes even then because it's just easier and I find that my lashes blend just as well, if not better, with no mascara on them with the falsies. But with this sort of model off duty type of look, I especially like not wearing mascara because I feel like my lashes are pretty decent nowadays now that I've been using a lash serum for over a year. I really feel like it's helped my lashes a lot, and they just kind of, it's enough for me on their own. I don't feel like I need anything on top of them. I feel like I look younger and more fresh without it. It's just sort of I guess it's a little bit against the grain, but I just actually really like it. I like how I look with just skin improved slash perfected to some extent, some brows, and just a clean eye. So I'm going to take my hair down and I will see you guys in a second. And here we are. I went ahead and threw on some lip gloss, which I also forgot to do during the actual get ready with me demo portion. I'm clearly off my filming game right now, you guys. But here we are with the finished no makeup model off duty type of look. This is a true no makeup because, you know, a lot of these videos with no makeup, they'll still put on lashes and kind of have a very long routine, but this is extremely minimal. And it's really a routine that I've been loving because I feel really good this way. I feel like my skin looks really fresh and improved from how it looks with no help at all, but it's still lightweight, easy to remove the products at the end of the day, and it doesn't take me a lot of time. And this is probably also the first time you guys are getting a good look at my hair since I cut it back in January, because I went straight into kinky twists because I had all that travel with work. So yeah, you guys haven't even really seen my hair since I chopped a bunch of it off. Here's some footage of a recent wash day where I just had thrown in my mud wash, and you can kind of see the length there. I'm not exactly sure how long my hair is, if I'm perfectly honest. I think it's around bra strap length. Yeah, probably between armpit and bra strap length. Before I was basically waist length-ish. So yeah, I did cut off quite a good amount of hair. My wash days have been so much easier. Detangling has been so much easier. My hair has been so much easier to manage without having those ends that were just getting in my way, tangling and just creating problems. So feeling good. I feel like I could still use some more shaping, but since I don't know what I'm doing, I'm kind of waiting to see how things go a little bit more before I take scissors to my hair again. But overall, I do think it's significantly improved, just in the fact that I'm able to wear this braid out right now and not feel like I look completely ridiculous. The way my hair was before, anytime I would try to do a twist out or braid out or any style with my hair down, it looked absurd. The lengths were all over the place, and it also doesn't help that even now, the side that was shaved, I've been growing it out about 1.5 years, I think, at this point. So that hair over here is still quite a bit shorter than the hair on the rest of my head. It's getting there. It's getting closer, especially now that I've cut the longer hair. It's closer, but it's still probably obviously a bit lopsided because I've got like kind of shorter hair here than I do on the rest of my head. But I wouldn't be embarrassed to go out like this. Before, if I did any type of style like this, I would immediately have to throw my hair into a bun or some sort of updo because it just looked insane. All right, now that all the makeup stuff is out of the way, let's talk about the Beast Mode Victory Lap, or Beast Mode Reload as I've been calling it in my head and to no one else. We are about 1.5 weeks-ish into the challenge, although for me, it's almost exactly a week. I blame Philium. Some of you guys know my friend Philium. You might remember I mentioned that he actually asked to do a fitness challenge with me, and then I just casually asked if anyone else was interested in doing another challenge on the channel, and pretty much everyone who responded in the comments was. I mean, almost no one says, no, I'm not doing it. That's pretty rare. I imagine the people who aren't doing it just don't respond at all, which would make sense. But in any event, we got enough of a positive response that I went ahead and added all of you guys to the little challenge I was going to be doing with Philium, our little Beast Mode Reload. And the official start date was March 15th, which was a Thursday ago, not last Thursday, but the Thursday before that. This is Sunday, March 25th when I'm filming this, so we're about 10 days in. However, I had a little dinner party which included Philium the night before our challenge, and it was supposed to be our kind of last hurrah where we could have a little wine and just chat and have fun before the two of us had to start this challenge. And then he was just like, yeah, about that, I need to push the start date. And I was just like, are you kidding me? I have already put it on the internet that this is starting tomorrow. Long story short, he had some travel for work that he had to do. And then I remembered that the upcoming weekend was going to be St. Patrick's Day weekend. And clearly, as an Irish American person, I wanted to celebrate. I don't know. I feel like any holiday is good enough reason to celebrate. So I ended up going out with some friends here in LA that weekend. We just went out to a bar, went dancing, like I mentioned, I love to do. It's pretty much what I live for when I'm looking to unwind and just have a good night. So I did have some drinks and ended up starting my challenge for real on Sunday, a week ago from today. So I've been doing the beast mode reload proper for about 1 week, and I'm actually going to be kind of ramping things up even more now that we're getting into week 2. A lot of you guys voted in my little poll that I had on my channel updates check-in video I did a couple videos back, where I was asking you guys what you might like me to try in terms of my She Tried It series, where I'm going to be testing out the various fitness and nutrition programs that you see spring up on the internet, whether it's through YouTube channels or Instagrammers and so on and so forth. And I was interested in testing out for, a month or 2 months, however long, either the Peach Plan 2, Maciarius' 30-day challenge, or the Z Gym from Zeus Galite. By a pretty wide margin, the Peach Plan 2 was the winner, so I have already purchased the program. And because that is going to be the sort of entire focus of my training for the next however long, I wanted to make sure I finished up my term at my gym so that I wasn't paying for a gym that I wasn't going to be using. Now, I go to a CrossFit gym, so I can't even actually use that facility to do the Peach Plan because they don't have machines in CrossFit gyms like cable machines and Smith machines and stuff like that. And having already looked through the Peach Plan 2, I realized that program relies heavily on a more traditional gym with traditional machines and equipment. My plan is to go through the program and see if I can adapt it for home use. I've got a pretty good background in exercise. I was a certified personal trainer in the past. I no longer have a current certification, so that's no longer the case. But nonetheless, I feel like I might be able to adapt the program for home use. I really have to kind of go through and look at it and see if I can. And if not, what I'll probably do is find a gym near me tomorrow that I can sign up for a short term, maybe 1 month, 2 months, so I can use that facility just to try out the Peach Plan and see how it goes. I'd rather not have to do that because I hate gyms like that, traditional gyms, and that's why I started doing CrossFit in the first place all those years ago, is I hate traditional gyms. But we'll see. I think it would be an interesting thing to see if I can adapt this program for home use and have success with it. Initial impressions, I would say that it looks like a pretty adaptable program in general, not just whether you can use it for home use or not, which is still to be determined, but in terms of how you use the program, in terms of how long you use it for and how you sequence it and so forth, because there's basically 2 phases, and her template is to use it for 2 months, but she's very open about basically adapting it to your needs, whether you want to make that 2-month program a 6-week program, a 1-month program, or whatever. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to trying it. I'm looking forward to having a very booty focused training plan, because that is an area I really want to work on. I really want to improve my booty to thigh ratio, because right now I feel like my booty could be bigger and my thighs could be a lot smaller. And I'll reiterate something I've said in past videos. I am not interested in one of those gigantic, ridiculous fake asses that are plaguing social media. That is not for me. I just want to improve what I have. I want to improve the shape, increase the size a bit, and slim down my legs. And also work on the appearance of cellulite, which is more about overall fat loss and improving nutrition. Which brings me to my second point. Nutrition-wise, I'm also going to be transitioning into doing the Gauge Girl custom meal plan that I told you guys I purchased, despite all of the drama that I recently had with that company. To not use that plan would be cutting off my nose to spite my own face, and I'm not about that. I spent the money. I'm going to use the program for better or for worse. Part of the reason I have not tried the program sooner is my initial impression was not impressed. I don't want anyone to think that I'm picking on this company or anything, but I will say that I was pretty disappointed with what I received in my 30-day plan, and that is why I have not made it a priority to go ahead and commit to doing it for 30 days. But I will save most of those thoughts for a review on that. I had debated over whether I should even review my custom plan after all of the bullshit that just went down with my review on the Gauge Girl 6-week shred. I don't want to be accused of being responsible of people having breakdowns on the internet, so I was debating over whether I should even review my custom plan, but I've gotten quite a lot of requests to review it in spite of, or perhaps because of, my review on the 6-week shred, so I will most likely be reviewing it. I just kind of have to think about how best to deal with it, because I already have cons and I know that that can be a lot for some people to take. In any event, I will be doing that for the next month, basically until the end of this challenge starting today. And I'll also be doing the Peach Plan 2 adapting it to home use ideally, and as well as adapting it to be a 4-week program rather than an 8-week, at least to start, mainly because not only is our challenge ending in about 4 weeks, but I'm going into Japan exactly 1 month from today. This was an unplanned trip. Basically every time I watch the news, I am suddenly filled with the urge to get the hell out of this country. And I was just perusing on Kayak, and they've got this feature on there where you can just kind of hit explore in one of their drop-down menus. And I do this a few times a year where I'll just kind of see, you can set parameters for like the most you want to spend on a flight, and it'll show you pretty much anywhere you can go in the world for that price or less. And you can even pick, I think, like what time of year you'd like to go, but I didn't even do that. I basically just wanted to see where I could go that was out of the country for $800 or less. And I wound up seeing flights to Japan for about $530. That's the price of a moderately expensive domestic flight. So I slept on it a couple nights. I basically thought about it for 3 days. The prices were still the same. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger. So I'm going to be flying into Osaka 1 week from today, and I'll be there just under 2 weeks and then flying back out from Tokyo. If you watch some of my videos from last spring after I had come back from my trip to Paris, Rome, and Barcelona, I said that I wanted to challenge myself the next time I go on a solo international trip by going somewhere that didn't use the Roman alphabet. My girl, the original Revolt, lives in Japan. What's up, girl? She's one of my ride or dies, and she's been telling me to come basically ever since then. As well as the legendary Miss Chikoro, who also pops up in my comments. It really means a lot to me when I see her in my comments, because she was such a touchstone for me when I first decided I wanted to start growing out my hair all those years ago, and her book, Grow It, really, it just paved the way and set me up for success. So I really love seeing any comments from her. And she also had mentioned Japan as one of her suggestions, I recall. So if either of you guys are watching, the original Revolt or Miss Chikoro, please let me know your suggestions in the comments, or even email me if you like, because I'd love to talk to you guys more about what I should do when I get there. I haven't booked anything at all except my actual flights, so nothing is set in stone. I just know that I need to be in Tokyo by a certain date to fly back home, but beyond that, Japan is my oyster. Anyway, that's going to do it. I want to keep this video kind of brief, especially since I don't know how it's going to look and how it's all going to work out. But I wanted to check in with you guys and let you guys know that I am back. I have a camera again, and I am so excited to get back on my grind making videos. I hope you guys are all doing well in the beast mode reload. Let me know how things are going for you now that we're in week 2 in the comment section. And that is pretty much it. But if any of the rest of you also have any tips on what I should do or what I should definitely not do when I'm in Japan, be sure to let me know in the comments as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.
That's some nappy-headed hose there, I'm going to tell you that now.